Hello Flight Sim fans and welcome to the Practically Geek channel. In this video I've landed here at Newcastle International Airport in the northeast of the United Kingdom, and I'm going to be showing you a piece of Payware scenery by Orbx, and this is available from their Orbx Direct store or through the Orbx Central Software. Just before we head into the Orbx scenery to see how much the airport has been improved, let's take a look at the default scenery first and check out what you can expect before you install the scenery add-on. Newcastle International Airport has one single asphalt runway, runway 07 and 25, measuring in at 2,329 metres. That's equivalent to around 7,641 feet. On one side of the airport you have a general aviation and business jets apron, which doesn't look too bad actually. Google Maps is showing me that all these buildings do exist. There seems to be no missing autogen buildings, albeit they're actually at different heights and obviously don't look like the real ones, but this is probably one of the better default airports I've been in for a long time. It's quite spot on actually, the aprons as well. I don't know if this is due to the UK update improving things, but certainly Newcastle Airport definitely looks closer to its real life counterpart. I'm not too sure why there are cars parked on a apron here at Newcastle in the default scenery, but I'm sure that will be sorted in the Orbx version. There is a big control tower stationed at Newcastle International, and it's quite a centerpiece of the scenery itself and probably the airport as well. It's actually located off the main terminal and just off to the side of the runway, and it looks quite great, and it is actually present in the default scenery, which is quite rare to see, and it's not too bad looking. In fact, definitely the height seems to be a bit more spot on than other control towers in other sceneries. Again, I am quite impressed with the default scenery for Newcastle Airport. These little lighter grey squares or rectangles you can see in the tarmac on the stands where all those misplaced general aviation aircraft are do actually exist. If you look at the Google Maps, which I'll be showing you right now, they are actually present, so that's quite good to see that little detail in the default scenery. And the terminal building as well looks quite good. There's a main terminal building with a pier stretching out to the aircraft with their jetways, and that's all present here, which is quite good. And you can also see the outbuildings here. The kind of the V-shaped one is actually the Hilton Hotel, and then the I think that's a Premier or a Holiday Inn just further back from that. All the car parks, long stay car parks over to the right there, all exist, and the only thing that is wrong is those hangars just to the left bottom of the image now. That's actually where the old control tower is stationed, and they aren't hangars from what I can tell. So stick with me guys as we check out the Orbx scenery for Newcastle International Airport, and let's check what the team at Orbx have done to improve this airport. So welcome back to Newcastle International Airport here in the northeast of the United Kingdom. We are now loaded into the Orbx scenery, as you can probably already tell. So let's see how much the team have improved this airport. And doesn't it look fantastic? The team of Orbx have really outdone themselves again with another quality scenery. The windows there on that pier coming off the main terminal looks fantastic. The reflections of the apron below, and you can see there's some custom aircraft here on the stands here. We've got a Jet 2 737-800 there, which looks great. A bit too shiny, but maybe it's just how they wash. And that new custom terminal building here at Newcastle just looks stunning. The buses parked up there to take the passengers over to the remote stands, the blast shield in front of the terminal building, and already you can see there is some lovely weathering dust, dirt and marks all over that terminal building to simulate real life weathering effects. And the ground clutter here at Newcastle and the Orbx scenery just looks, again, absolutely stunning. Detail on offer is what you expect from an Orbx scenery. you can see that Orbx have also spent time on this side of the airport with the business jet and general aviation stands. The buildings all look true to life, including the cargo hangars just to the right here, or the cargo buildings. And again, the apron has also been retextured. Some of the car parks on the surrounding areas of the airport, and just this whole area of factories and utility buildings. And I'm also really amazed to see that they've also included a static 737 that is present here on this side of the airport. Hopefully I can get a Google image up for you now to show you that, but it's an older 737, maybe a 200 variant, just coming up on the left there. But this area looks fantastic. They've also taken away the cars parked up on that apron there with all those weirdly placed Cessna Caravans just over on the left there. Before we get into the more subtle and in-depth details that I like to point out with these sceneries, let's go through the key features of Newcastle Airport by Orbx. Key features include the faithful recreation of Newcastle International Airport, detailed PBR texturing, ultra high quality modelling work throughout, stunning 3D modelling, custom ortho, and highly detailed GSC and static aircraft. The price for Newcastle International Airport on Orbx, you can buy it for $24.99 Australian dollars. You can that basically converts to around 1926 US dollars, 15.95 euros, and £13.83. I'm really blown away by this detail, and look how much ground clutter we have. And personally, I've done no flights. This is my first look at Newcastle. You're seeing it with me now. I'm using the drone camera to, as I say, zoom around and get these cinematic shots, but my performance is quite good. No difference between the default scenery and this one, but the level of ground clutter in this scenery is fantastic. Look at this. You've got skips and cargo containers, all the ground power units. This must just be like an overflow to where they store them, but just this scene that I'm showing you right now is fantastic. It is so very well detailed, including the ground texture as well. And there's just a little closer look at that old, I think that is a 737-200. Again, please correct me in the comments, I know you will, but it definitely looks like with those engines. Newcastle Aviation Academy, and you can see that this one isn't shiny like the static aircraft on show on the stands over there at the airport. This has got some dirt coming down it, as you would imagine from this spending so much time not being used. And that's a lovely little detail. I love that they've included that. I didn't expect to see it at all. And look at that. Isn't that a really highly detailed control tower model that they've included here for Newcastle? And it's so well detailed. Those struts and bars running down, the structure running down to the bottom, including that lovely Emirates sign, which I'd imagine is possibly I don't know, some kind of sponsor. I know that the Emirates do run a flight from here using the Boeing 777 to Dubai or Abu Dhabi. I'm not too sure which one it is, possibly Dubai, but they do have Emirates, and that sign is really well detailed. Look at that. You can see the texture and inside the letters in each individual letter, and just zooming up here you can see all those custom, the like metal netting around those bars as well. So the detail that they've used, there's no interior unfortunately, but again the overall level of detail just makes up for that. It is a really great model for the control tower here at Newcastle. Again, more custom buildings here being added to the Orbx scenery. This area where the fire department is located here at Newcastle has got the loads of different little areas for them to practice on for fire safety. There's actually a helicopter as well there. I've never seen 3 different models at an airport, including what looks like a little general aviation aircraft model, which is so cute. Look at that. I think that's a little tiny general aviation, possibly a Cessna or something that they practice on. Look at that. Look at that, is fabulous. Look at that. And you can see the helicopter on its pad there. and you've got a jet, a smaller jet, maybe a 737, A320 size, up into maybe what's present here, like a Boeing 777 size, even bigger, but it's fantastic. And the detail and the PBR reflections on the sides of the rusted metal, the burnt metal, it is fantastic. And again, the building is very, very well. Oh, actually, might have a little bit of a problem there. This could be due to the UK update, changing in elevation, but you can see that building itself is actually lifted up and is kind of slanted, and it's floating off the ground. So I think maybe Orbx might need to update this airport to reflect the changes in elevation, possibly due to the UK update. But again, that being said, the building is very, very highly detailed. Each individual stain and mark, the weathering down the sides of the paneling looks great. And obviously a better look for you there of all the new retextured apron work. Again, it's great that they've kept in those light grey difference in the kind of the tarmac colours, because that is present, as I showed you before in the Google satellite imagery. And just a quick look at the landside area of Newcastle Airport. It looks very, very well done. The amount of glass being used on the front side here, with again more PBR texturing implemented. You can see the sun is reflecting heavily off the sides of that glass, and you can just see a massive big level of retexturing done for the landside area, which again you probably won't see if you're purely doing flights in and out of this airport. I tell you what, the level of detail in this airport is fantastic. Dirt on the roof there, as you can see, not repeated textures as well. You won't be able to see any repeated textures for the dirt and the muck. Custom ground GPU units, the stairs going up to this lovely detailed old control tower here at Newcastle, and also the wet marks on top of the roof. Again, probably something you won't see, definitely not this particular detailing, but it is a really, really detailed airport. I'm really blown away. You can see the rotating radars here on the roof. They look fantastic. As I mentioned before, the performance for the Orbx Newcastle Airport scenery is quite good. My system specs are linked in the description below, and also my channel bio if you are interested. I'm getting good performance, no stutters or loss in frame rate, which is fantastic. The Orbx scenery here is clocked in at 3.87 gigabytes when it's installed, so not massive or not small. I'm very, very surprised of that particular size in scenery, because of the level of detail that I've seen. With that being said, it is now time to roll back our clocks to 1 AM and check out the night lighting for the Orbx Newcastle International Airport. It is now 1 AM here at Newcastle Airport, and doesn't it look fantastic in the night time? It is faked interior lighting. There's no interior to this scenery model, but it does look great. What they've been able to achieve for the kind of the faked interior, if you will, is great. I think if we went a bit too close to that the larger terminal section build, not the pier itself, the images would become a bit more clearer and thus wouldn't look as realistic. But if you are purely flying in and out and coming up to stand, I think the level of detail in the night lighting is fantastic. I especially love the apron lighting. It's really, really well implemented into those spotlights, into the new custom spotlights. The Newcastle International, the Welcome to Newcastle International sign looks great, the way it's brightly lit neon. And you can also see the Premier Inn and Hilton hotels, including that Shell of petrol station, are all illuminated very, very realistically. It also looks fantastic as well, including the outbuildings here, the few little lights on the old control tower, and it does look really realistic. The night lighting is pretty impressive here. And I tell you what, that is some really great taxiway edge lighting. The blue lights on the taxiways, including those green taxiway lights, look fantastic. They extend into the business jet and general aviation side of the airport, and also as well, you can't forget the air control tower, which looks amazing. Look at the Emirates sign, brightly lit in the background there. Some may say the light on this particular building as we fly past it looks a bit too bright. I'd have to agree. Maybe a bit dimmer would have been a bit better. But you just can't deny that the night lighting here at Newcastle by Orbx is really, really well done. The lights on the edge of the building illuminating down onto the apron. I am getting some kind of weird thing where the lights seem to be turning on as I fly past, possibly just a LOD issue, but certainly not something that would bother me if I was using this airport regularly, which I think I will be because it's fantastic. It really is very well detailed. But as you can see, as we approach the Emirates control tower here, or just the control tower itself, the Emirates sign looks absolutely fantastic. I think it's very, very well lit, and the effects on the lighting itself is amazing. But the interior lighting at the top of the control tower, it's the reflections on the base of the control tower looks fantastic, but I think it just looks like blotchy, and I think they might have done better with kind of more of a parallaxed kind of effect, partial interior maybe. But again, it really does look fantastic. It is probably one of the best custom control tower buildings that I've seen inside this simulator. Overall, the night lighting here at Newcastle Airport by Orbx is good. I think it's really, really well implemented. Again, I'm still a bit unsure of the interior lights, the kind of the faked interior lights. Everything looks okay in the daytime. At a distance here, the terminal looks very, very realistic. But again, when you get a bit too close, you're going to see kind of the, I don't know, maybe sometimes you'll see like faked people walking past, well, not even walking past, just static. But for me, it's great. It still looks amazing. Very well done to Orbx for another great scenery. It's now time to see the airport in more detail with my before and after montages. If you are enjoying these, please let me know in the description. Bit too late to say this, but I have added the chapters into the videos now, finally, so you can skip between what you want to see if that's more helpful. But here is a better look at what the airport looked like in the default state versus what it looks like now. And again, I hope you are enjoying the before and after montages. Let's get straight into it. So that was Newcastle International Airport by Orbx. It is available from their Orbx Direct store. The link is in the description below. It's currently priced in Australian dollars $24.99, US dollars $19.26. If you want to pay in euros, it's $15.95, or it's $13.83 in pounds, so £13.83. Enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Practically Geek channel for more videos just like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon.
Hello, 212, you make a left turn there now.
Hello, 212. Hello, 212, we're ready for approach now, and I request vectors via dual company approach.